What's up, otakus? Your tour guide here. We've got a great video. This is going to be the first of 5 in a series, and we're counting down the top 50 Jimlee books in my collection. And we're going to do it in increments of 10. And so this will be books 50 through 41, and we're going to count all the way down to 1. So hopefully you enjoy the series. We'll probably put out a list every week. I also picked, by the time this video airs, I will have received a big book that's going to be my 289th Jimlee addition to the collection. Well, technically it's not 289 because I already have the book. It's just a different version of the book, and we'll get into it, but I don't want to give too much away. But again, by the time this video goes out, I'll probably be live streaming that unboxing, so be sure to check out that video as well in my feed if you haven't already caught the live stream. But yeah, that book will be on this list eventually. Anyway, let's get to the list. We're going to start with number 50 on the list, Action Comics number 1. And I know what you're saying. Hey, this issue has nothing to do with Jimlee. This came out before he was born. We've got this great comic book by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, and it's a facsimile edition. But this isn't any reprint. It's the Loot Crate facsimile edition, which comes with this great DC certificate of authenticity. And if you look closely, there's Jim's signature as the publisher on this book. And so, yeah, I mean, it's kind of has a connection to Jimlee, and so I consider it a Jimlee book. And what I want to do with this book is eventually get it signed by Jimlee. Have him write DC logo, president, and then sign his name. And this would just be a great, I think, addition to my collection. So that's what we're intending to do with this book. Alright, next we've got book 49, which is Fantastic Four number 1, volume 2. And this is my signed copy. Just a great cover there. Jimlee's sort of first work on the book, and first work on all of these great characters, written by Brandon Choi. Now, this book, there was a lot of hype surrounding this book. I remember the preview was on the cover of Wizard, and it was like it marked Jim's return to Marvel after the departure. And I just remember really being excited and anticipating this issue, and I went out and got it and read it. I enjoyed it, but I think there was a little bit of backlash because the fact that they were breaking up the legacy number, starting a new volume, that didn't sit well with a lot of people. And then the fact that it was a little bit lackluster, didn't meet the expectations because it'd been so hyped. I mean, everybody was like, man, Jimlee's doing Fantastic Four, and just built up all this hype around it. And I think ultimately, the run kind of disappointed a lot of fans. This issue also represents the start of his blue period, and Jimlee has ups and downs, and this is kind of the pinnacle at the start of sort of the descent. And the descent has everything to do with the end of the comic boom. We saw sales explode. He was right at the apex, or riding the wave of that explosion. And then when it finally fell, that's kind of why he decided to go back to Marvel and start work, being a comic book artist again, not an executive. Book 48, we've got Conan 242, and this is just a great cover. Jim Lee's first work on Red Sonja. Beautiful cover there, Red Sonja. Really sort of just detailed close-up of the two locked in battle. Yeah, I mean, this is probably one of his most notable pieces at Marvel, just because it's on, a different title than normal. Jim Lee did a lot of cover work and titles. He did work on The Numb. He did work on, Punisher, War Journal, Alpha Flight, Conan, X Factor, Transformers. That's another one. Anytime you get him on doing like a different book and stuff, it's really special. And so, yeah, this is definitely just one of the top pieces. As you can see, this book needs a press. We have number 47 and 46 in my collection. So I guess this will be 47 and 46. Justice League number 12. And basically, this is a cover A and cover B. And they're just 2 points in time for these two characters. I would say this is ascending and ascended. But yeah, this is where they're locked in passion, and this is sort of a romantic, more sort of loving, I would say, getting it on and got it on. But yeah, I love these covers. I really love this one as sort of shades of Gustav Klimt's The Kiss, the way they're locked in, kind of that embrace. And this is just a great artwork here. They're in space, they've got the sun behind their back. They look really happy together. Just a great cover for, these two amazing comic book characters. Alright, heading to now number 45 on the list. We've got Thundercats. If you are a Gen Xer like me, you grew up watching this cartoon. As part of that cartoon hour, where you had so many great, after school cartoons to watch on a daily basis. But yeah, big fan of Thundercats. Was a big Tigra fan. But this cover here is just great. His first, I think, work on Wildcats character lineup. Great detail. Love the sword. Love the pose and the sword. Just classic good stuff. Jim Lee stuff. And we were talking about childhood cartoons for Gen Xers. This is probably one of the top, if not the top. I'd say Transformers and G.I. Joe has to be on top of every little Gen X boys list of things from their childhood. And man, this is a great cover. It's Jim's take on Batman versus Snake Eyes. Batman Fortnite 0 Point variant cover. That would be a great battle. I don't know who would win that one. You got Batman's resourcefulness versus Snake Eyes, just elite combat skills. I don't know, it's too tough to call, but I would have to give the advantage to Snake Eyes. And yeah, this is an early Jim Lee X-Men book. And really significant because Jim Lee reimagines Psylocke. Psylocke was this X-Man with these psychic abilities. She was just sort of this very effeminate, kind of had to be rescued, from time to time, not very tough. And she was also, this British white woman. And then Jim Lee just creates this whole new persona around Psylocke. She's Asian now. He creates the sexy with a PS image that we all know and love. Now, we don't get that on the cover here, but in the interior pages of this book is the first appearance of sexy with a PS Psylocke. And you know me, I love PS sex sells, PSEX sells. And for me, this book kind of changed my transition into puberty years. And yeah, even to this day, we all love, I think they're calling her Quana now, but we love sexy Psylocke, and that will never change. And we got Jim Lee to thank for that. So, first appearance of sexy Psylocke is our number 43 book. 42, we're staying with sexy Psylocke. We got our first cover. So this was 256, a couple issues down the road, 261, we get the first cover. And man, it is a glorious cover of our Asian sexy Psylocke looking PS sexy. Yeah, I think this is a book that just needs to get more recognition and love. I mean, it's the first Jim Lee's sexy. I mean, if you want the first sexy Psylocke cover, it's got to be done by Jim Lee first off, which you have here. And you got Cable, you got Jubilee, you got Wolverine, and just looking terrifying. I mean, what more do you want in the cover? That's just this is got to be a must-have on your list, hopefully. Out of all the Jim Lee books you could have, this probably should be higher on my list, but I'm going to keep the first sexy Psylocke cover here in this position, because there's believe you me, as you move closer to one, there's going to be more sexy goodness for you to enjoy. Alright, brings us to number 41, the last book of this particular list, and this is really marks the pinnacle. I mentioned Jim Lee's Blue period, right? This is probably kind of the pinnacle of where the comic book industry was, where Jim Lee was in the industry. He was heading his own sort of publishing company within Image. He, by that point, was just such an influential figure in every aspect of the industry, the business. And, he had a big catalog of books. And so Wizard just showcased Jim Lee, here's tribute edition, in 96 again. He's coming back to Marvel, Fantastic Four, Gen 13 was sort of really one of the hotter titles at Image. And yeah, you get this great Fairchild and the Thing cover by Jim. Great book. This book comes with an inner poster as well. So if you're out and you see this book and you want to get it, verify whether the poster is in there or not. A lot of copies out there, because it's a nice poster. People pulled it out, put it on their walls. This one doesn't have the poster. I'm still looking for a copy with the poster. But yeah, a lot of great Jim Lee art. This also has a sort of a mid-90s checklist of his books. That's kind of cool. So yeah, just a great overall book to have, 41. Alright, so that does it for this particular list. Hope you enjoyed 50 through 41. We're going to come back with 40 through 31 in my next video, so stay tuned for that, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.